Hello, greetings to everybody. I'd like to give you 5 sets of examples and discuss something here because I have, over the past several years, never seen a more enormous pile of ignorant, unintelligent, obnoxious, unwise, uninformed statements on countless photographic discussion boards, various other places, comments that I get as pertains medium format and specifically Fujifilm medium format. And the reason for this is actually two reasons. 95%, even more than that, of the current photographic world has never owned a medium format camera. They have no idea what it is. They have no idea of its characteristics. All of them are large. All of them are relative to current 35mm DX crop sensor cameras slow. They do exactly what they're designed for, which is one thing only: ultimate image output. But talking about prices, I'm going to give you 5 sets of examples here and tell you why, and give you specific examples why you're absolutely incorrect. You have no idea what you're talking about. Let's first start off by stating something very obvious. To cover a larger sensor, the lenses have to be larger, and that includes primary and secondary elements. And here's a fact: doesn't matter who makes the lens, Nikon, Fujifilm, Canon, Voigtlander, Leica, anybody. When the front element, primary element, and secondary elements get larger, the price goes up exponentially. Now this is a Nikkor 105mm 1.4. It actually renders quite horribly, and it's plastic, and it's made in China, and it's $2,200. The ignorant comments that I've been getting about medium format lately, let's just do a compare and contrast, okay? This is 105mm 1.4. It's Chinese manufacturer, and it's plastic. Specifically, it's polycarbonate, I believe. Yes, 2,200. Now let's take a look at a lens that's made out of metal. It's much sharper. I have this lens. $2,800. Now recently this lens was on sale for the same price as this lens, $2,200. Plastic, made in China. Metal, made in Japan. Sharp as piss, absolutely incredible. Did I mention it was made in Japan? This lens is huge. It's extremely huge and heavy, but nobody gives a damn about this because everybody that grew up with medium format knows medium format is large and relatively heavy in most cases. Okay? It's designed for one thing, just like a gigantic earth-moving dump truck only gets like a half a mile to the gallon of gas, and the tires they're like 10 feet tall, and they cost each tire, and there's 4 tires on it. Each tire costs $200,000 or more, depending on which one is, like a Komatsu earth mover. Top speed on those suckers is like 15 miles an hour. The point is, and this is a perfect analogy for medium format, even the fact that the tires are $200,000 a pop and it only gets 15 miles per hour max speed and like a half a mile, a gallon to gas, which is really, half a mile to a gallon of gas. Nobody that owns that gives a shit because it does one thing and one thing perfectly. So here's an example: plastic, made in China. Okay, this lens was a month or so ago when the sale was going on. It was going on for a couple months. Same price, metal, made in Japan, absolutely perfect. Sharp as piss, unbelievable. Let's go on to a different analogy, okay? Now this lens is actually quite compact. It's actually smaller. This lens is smaller than this lens. I know it's a 35-1.4. It's a 35 equivalent. Yes, it is a 2.8 lens. Actually, this is the best GFX lens in my opinion. I own all of them. $1,600, and this one's $1,600. Yes, yeah. Plastic. Plastic. This lens is not actually all that sharp. I have this lens. I actually have both of these lenses. 1,600. This lens was recently on sale for $1,200, I believe. Metal, made in Japan. This lens is one of the most optically perfect lenses I've ever used in my life. I mean, I might as well just glue it onto the front of one of my GFX cameras. This medium format lens, okay? Expensive? My ass. No, it's not. Expensive compared to what? This lens, plastic, made in China. Metal made in Japan. Let's go on to a different analogy here. Let's just do a little quick comparison here. Both of these cameras, by the way, have the same sensor in them. I know this one comes with the 80 millimeter lens, which is worth about $5,000. Let's take $5,000 off the price of this $24,000 camera kit. Okay, $18,000. Same damn sensor as in this camera, the GFX 50R. 4,500. Yeah, and you take the lens off of this, you're still left with $18,000. So $18,000, 4,500. This camera is made in Japan, and it's got a reduced shutter mech dampening in it. It's the fastest autofocusing medium format camera in the world, which is not really saying a tremendous amount. There's not that many medium format cameras out there. It's very compact. It's extremely light. This sucker, I don't know if you ever had your hands on this camera, but it feels like a plastic squeeze toy. It's huge. It's slow as a constipated turtle. $19,000, right? 19, exact same sensor in this camera. Slow. Do you want to talk about autofocus points on this camera? It's like right around here. Yes, 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 yes. So, yeah, you can get one of these for 18,000, or you can get a much faster camera, smaller, more lightweight for 4,500 with the same sensor in it. By the way, it says an improved micro lens design sitting over top of the sensor on this camera. Yeah, expensive compared to what? Expensive compared to what? That's what I'd like to ask you. Expensive compared to what? Let's take a look at, now this is a Schneider Kreuznach lens, which is really high quality manufactured. Nowhere near as good as a Voigtlander. Yeah, but let's take a look at this lens relative to the Fujifilm lens. Yeah, the 55 millimeter 2.8, $4,600. Yeah. This was recently on sale for $1,200. Yeah, $4,600. Right. Tell me again about how expensive medium format is relative to Fujifilm. Now, I've got both of these lenses. Let's take a look at these two suckers right here. Yeah, both of these. Both of these lenses. Now, on the right here, we have the Nikkor new version, 70 to 200 millimeter 2.8. Yes, it is made in Japan, and it's plastic. And by the way, it's much heavier than this. I know this is a 2.8, and I know this is a 5.6 lens. Yeah, I do know that. For this to be a 2.8 lens, it would be about 5 times as big as this, and it would cost endless amounts more money. $2,500. This is essentially a medium format short version of a 70 to 200. It's $2,000. 2,000 versus 2,500. Plastic. Yes, it's plastic. I own both of these lenses. This is premium. It's sharp as piss. Unbelievably sharp. Okay, all metal construction, made highest quality in Japan. Tell me again how expensive medium format is now. Medium format is actually really expensive. Fujifilm medium format, not so much. Actually, as I've already shown you now, prices are comparable and superior. Plastic made in China, metal made in Japan. I mean, hello, hello, hello. Do we smell what's going on here? Yeah, what's this say? I keep hearing medium format so huge and expensive. No, no, yeah, $19,000. $4,500. Um, I know most people have never owned medium format, which is fine. You don't want it, that's fine. You want to talk about how slow it is? Yeah, everybody that owns medium format does not give a hoot in hell because it does one thing only, and that's what it's designed to do: ultimate image output. Okay, it's not designed. I got full frame cameras, crop sensor cameras for ripping off the shots like a machine gun. Right? Super fast autofocus, eye autofocus, huge buffer. That is not what medium format is ever designed for. Okay? They're not designed for that. And nobody that owns one gives a shit about their size. Not a single person on this earth that owns a medium format camera gives a single shit at all about their size because they don't care. When you drop that 300 megabyte TIFF file into Photoshop, it will melt your crotch and you will curl up into a ball and start drooling on yourself. That's the only reason. See, nobody cares about the speed, okay, or the size. This is actually an extremely lightweight camera, and it's actually not that big. It's not any bigger. It's actually smaller than a Nikon D4 or D5 is, and a lot lighter weight, so it's not an issue here. But yeah, did I make myself perfectly clear on this? Did I like go overboard? Yeah, I mean, compared to what? That's gonna be my new motto. I'm gonna start making T-shirts that go compared to what? You know, medium format's big and expensive. Compared to what? You know, this piece of garbage compared to this, metal made in Japan, plastic made in China. Yeah, you're right. No, you, in fact, are not correct. I hope I made that perfectly clear. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday. Peace out, Girl Scout.